Hunger is not just the craving for food or success, it is something far older, far deeper, a force woven into the very fabric of your being. It is the quiet compass that points you toward the places you have not yet reached, toward the versions of yourself you have not yet met. It does not shout. It hums beneath the surface, guiding you with a feeling, an ache, a pull you can't quite put into words.
Mhm.
You may notice it in the way your heart quickens when you imagine a life more expansive than the one you know,
Mm.
or in the way certain moments leave you strangely unsatisfied, not because they are lacking, but because you sense there is more waiting for you just beyond the horizon. You see, we often mistake hunger for lack. We think that to be hungry means something is wrong, something is missing. But in truth, hunger is not a wound. It is a signal. It is life's way of keeping you in motion, keeping you reaching, keeping you open to the mystery. Without it, there would be no journey, only stagnation. Without it, even the brightest moments would dim, for they would have nothing to lead into, nothing to grow toward. And yet, hunger is not always comfortable. It will sit with you in the quiet hours, asking you questions you can't easily answer. It will stir restlessness in the midst of contentment, not to rob you of peace, but to prevent you from mistaking comfort for completion. The truth is, you are not here to be finished. You are here to unfold, layer by layer, into the fullness of your potential. And hunger is the thread that pulls you forward through that unfolding. Think of a seed. Buried in the darkness, it does not stay still. Something in it yearns, pushes against the soil, seeking light it has never seen. That yearning is not logical. The seed cannot know exactly what awaits above. And yet, it moves. You are no different. Your hunger may ask you to step into the unknown, to take a path without guarantees. And this can be frightening, because the mind wants certainty, but hunger deals in possibility. There will be voices, both within you and around you, that tell you to settle, to accept what you have, to quiet the ache for more. And sometimes, yes, you must pause, breathe, and appreciate what is here. But appreciation and hunger are not enemies. You can be deeply grateful for this chapter and still be drawn toward the next. Gratitude roots you in the present. Hunger carries you into the future. Together, they keep your life balanced, like inhaling and exhaling. Hunger also has a strange way of refining you. When you follow it, you shed what is unnecessary. You begin to discern between the shallow cravings of ego and the deep callings of the soul. You stop chasing everything, and you start pursuing the things that actually nourish you. That's the beauty of true hunger. It doesn't scatter your energy, it concentrates it. And perhaps most profoundly, hunger is how life ensures you stay in dialogue with it. You are not here as a passive observer. You are here as a participant in something vast and intricate. The questions you carry, the longings you feel, these are the conversation between you and the cosmos. You reach out, it responds. You move forward, it meets you halfway. So do not fear your hunger. Do not try to silence it simply because it makes you restless or uncertain. Follow it, even if only one step at a time. Let it be your compass in the wilderness, your lantern in the dark. For it is not here to take from you, it is here to reveal to you. Because in the end, hunger is not proof of what you lack. It is proof of who you are becoming. There's a quiet beauty in being unfinished, though it's something our minds often resist. We like the idea of completion, of arriving at a place where nothing more is required of us, where every box is ticked and every question answered. But life rarely works like that. Instead, it offers us spaces, gaps between what we long for and what we hold in our hands. And in those spaces, hunger is kept alive. We tend to think of the unfinished parts of our lives as imperfections, as though they are signs of failure or evidence that we've fallen behind. But if you look closely, you'll see that the unfinished is not a flaw. It's the very soil in which possibility grows. A painting is never just the final stroke. It is also the spaces the brush hasn't touched yet. Music is not only the notes. It is the silences that give those notes meaning. And so too, your life is not just the moments of arrival. It is the pauses, the delays, the unanswered prayers that give your journey its shape. We live in a culture that urges us to be done, to have everything figured out as soon as possible. But what would happen if we arrived too quickly? What would happen if there were no distance between who we are and who we're meant to become? The truth is, there would be no wonder, no discovery, no unfolding. The magic would be gone. Like reading the last page of a book before you've begun, you'd rob yourself of the mystery, and the mystery is half the point. Sometimes the universe will withhold something from you. not out of cruelty, but because the space it leaves behind is essential. That space is where you grow into the person who can truly hold what's coming. If the answer came too soon, you might not yet have the hands to carry it, the heart to sustain it, or the wisdom to honor it. And so, life stretches the distance a little longer, not as a punishment, but as preparation. You might look at your life and see pieces missing, chapters unfinished. But what you're really looking at is a work still in motion. It is not broken, it is simply alive. And being alive means being in process. Even the mountains you see as solid are still shifting beneath the surface, being shaped by forces you cannot see. Why should your journey be any different? There's a certain grace in accepting this, and realizing that the unfinished does not mean incomplete, it means becoming. It means there are still surprises ahead, still horizons waiting to be reached. It means your story is still breathing. And when you embrace that truth, you stop rushing to the end and start savoring the middle. You begin to see that the waiting is not empty. It is pregnant with meaning. And here's the curious thing. The moment you stop resenting the unfinished, it becomes a source of peace rather than frustration. You begin to notice that the pauses have their own kind of music. You find yourself able to rest in the uncertainty, not because you've stopped wanting more, but because you've learned that the beauty is in the unfolding. The joy is in watching life create itself around you, stroke by stroke, note by note, moment by moment, moment by moment. So if there are things in your life right now that feel unresolved, if there are dreams you have not yet touched or answers that seem impossibly far away, remember this. The space between here and there is not wasted. It is the very space that makes the journey worth taking. Because the truth is, you were never meant to be finished. You were meant to be endlessly, exquisitely in the making. We often see challenges as interruptions, as if life has somehow gone off course and left us stranded in the wrong place. But what if the obstacles, the losses, the sudden storms were not detours at all? What if they were the course? There is a strange precision in the way hardship shapes us, like a sculptor's hand pressing into clay, chipping away what does not belong, revealing the form hidden beneath. In the moment, it's hard to see this. Pain rarely arrives with a polite explanation. It comes raw, unannounced, unsettling the neat structures we've built in our minds. It doesn't ask if we're ready. And yet, looking back, we often find that the very moments we would have given anything to avoid were the same moments that changed us in ways nothing else could. A sculptor does not apologize to the stone. The stone may feel every strike as an act of destruction, but the sculptor sees the figure within and knows each strike is bringing it closer to life. The universe works in much the same way. The challenges that bruise us, the delays that frustrate us, the endings that break us, these are not careless blows. They are deliberate, though often mysterious, movements in the shaping of our souls. It is tempting to think we would be happier without struggle, but without it, our lives would remain uncarved, our depths unexplored. Effort can preserve, but it cannot transform. Only the friction of difficulty refines the steel of our character. Without the weight to push against, we would never discover the strength we carry. Without resistance, there is no growth, only stillness, and eventually decay. And yet, this is not about glorifying pain for its own sake. Life is not asking you to seek out suffering. It is simply asking you not to run from it when it finds you, to meet it with the understanding that it is part of the crafting, even if you cannot see the final shape. The discomfort you feel is often the exact tension required to pull you toward the next version of yourself. If you watch the way rivers carve valleys, you'll see it is not done gently. The water wears down rock over centuries, shaping beauty through persistence and force. In your own life, the challenges are like that water, slowly, steadily sculpting the landscape of your being. Some seasons feel like floods, others like droughts, but each has its place in the design. And when the shaping is particularly hard, when the chisel feels too sharp, it helps to remember that this process is not random. Every trial, no matter how chaotic it seems, is part of a larger architecture. There is a rhythm to it, a pattern that you may only recognize when you step back far enough. So instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" perhaps the better question is, "What is this making of me?" That shift in perspective transforms challenge from an enemy into an ally, from something to fear into something to learn from. It allows you to stand in the storm and see not just the destruction, but the space being cleared for something new. The truth is, You cannot be the person you are meant to be without first being the person you are now. And the bridge between the two is built almost entirely from the trials you endure. You may not have chosen them, but they have chosen you, and in that choice lies a strange kind of grace. Because every strike of the chisel, every current of the river, every storm that passes through is not here to break you, it is here to reveal you. There is something endlessly fascinating about the way life moves, always flowing, always becoming, never truly fixed in place. Even in the moments that feel still, something is shifting beneath the surface. Seasons turn, tides change, stars burn and fade, and in the same quiet inevitability, you two are in motion. You are not a finished product to be neatly placed on a shelf. You are a living, breathing work in progress, an unfolding piece of art in the hands of time. To stay hungry is to honor that movement. It is to recognize that the self you are today is only a single frame in the film of your life, and that tomorrow will bring new colors, new shapes, new possibilities. The moment you believe you have arrived is the moment you begin to drift into stagnation. But when you keep your hunger alive, you remain a willing participant in the great, continuous dance of becoming. Becoming is not always glamorous. Some days it feels like you're moving backward. Other days you may feel you're walking in circles. But the truth is, no step is wasted. Even the detours are part of the choreography. Every experience, pleasant or painful, teaches your soul a new rhythm, adds a new note to your song. The dance is not meant to be perfect. It's meant to be lived. And here is the paradox. In the midst of all this movement, you are also complete in every moment. This is not a contradiction. It is the miracle of life. You can be both whole and becoming, both here and on your way. Staying hungry doesn't mean rejecting the present. It means savoring it while remaining open to what comes next. It's the art of holding gratitude in one hand and curiosity in the other. When you accept this, you stop fearing change. You stop clinging to the illusion of permanence because you understand that nothing in nature holds still. Not the rivers, not the clouds, not the heartbeat in your chest. You realize that the constant shifting is not a threat to your existence, but the very thing that makes it beautiful. You are not here to freeze in place. You are here to move with the music, to let the rhythm carry you deeper into the mystery. There is a reason hunger never fully leaves you. It is not a flaw in the design. It is the design. Without it, you would grow numb to the wonder. With it, you are forever drawn forward, forever connected to the living pulse of existence. This is how you participate in something larger than yourself, not by demanding the world bend to your will, but by learning to move with its endless unfolding. And maybe that's the point, to keep finding yourself, losing yourself, and finding yourself again in 1,000 different ways. To keep learning new steps, even when they feel unfamiliar. To trust that the music will carry you, even when you can't hear the whole song. So you stay hungry, not because you are empty, but because you are alive. You stay hungry because each day is an invitation to grow, to see, to become a little more of who you are destined to be. And when you finally understand that this dance has no final step, you begin to see that the beauty of life was never in the arriving, it was always in the moving. Because in the vast, unending dance of existence, your hunger is the rhythm that keeps you in step with eternity.